Good morning and welcome to this morning's episode of the Amateur in the Morning. I am your host, the Forex Amateur. It is a beautiful Thursday morning out here in Durban. It is the 5th of November. Very sunny morning again. Unfortunately, the humidity, there's no chance of it slowing down, which is really, really uncomfortable at the moment. But we survive under whatever circumstances. So, as you know, this is a very quick series that I do every morning, and I try to break down the charts based on what I am looking at for that day. And as I mentioned on yesterday's episode, which I will speak about shortly, that my main focus on these episodes, on this series specifically, is purely to guide people towards being able to identify the daily bias. Because once you've identified your daily bias and what's the direction which the market is most likely going to be moving in for that day, you know exactly on which side of the market to focus your attention. So remember, this isn't really advice in terms of how to trade, when to trade, and what to trade, right? But this is more or less an educational experience for you to be able to identify the daily bias and then take that away as a learning exercise and be able to apply it to your trading as well, right? Cool. So just to speak about yesterday's episode, unfortunately, there was a bit of a delay with yesterday's episode, and I was only able to upload it this morning. Because I did have a bit of a busy day yesterday, so I was out for most of the day and I didn't have the opportunity to upload yesterday's episode. So yesterday's episode is up, and this morning's episode will be up shortly as well after I've done the recording. So let me throw in my little disclaimer there. Remember, I am not qualified to provide financial, investment, or even trading advice. Everything I speak about on the series specifically is purely my opinion on the markets. Any trades I take is trades I'm taking with cash that I am willing to risk. Ensure that if you are trading on a live account, you are trading firstly with cash you are willing to risk, and secondly, you do your own research and you make your own decisions regarding how you want to trade or how you want to invest your portfolio. Because also ensure that you are risking cash that you are willing to lose, because ultimately, you can lose your entire investment, right? So let's get straight into the markets this morning. I'm going to try and go through this as quick as possible. We're going to start with talking about volatility 10. Now, on yesterday's episode, I identified this little gray zone down here regarding a possible retracement off of this zone here. I did mention on yesterday's episode that we are still bearish bias on this market. And as you can see, yesterday's candle was very bearish and it has traded all the way down into this gray zone. And you can see a minor rejection off here already. So what I will be expecting to see happening today, let me just grab my pen. What I will be expecting to see happening today is to see the market react off of this gray zone that we have here. So we might get it pushing a little bit up as well off this zone, maybe to come and retest the structure in here before we see this market do one last push to the downside. And then, like I said, like I have been saying, this is the zone that I've been looking for buys off of, right? Apologies for my annotations. Let me just grab this. Yeah, right. So this is the zone that I've been speaking about, where I have been looking for the market to come back to this level for us to be able to take buying opportunities, which we will be taking all the way back to the upside, right? So this is currently playing out really, really beautifully. This is one of the best moves that I've caught so far on volatility for the past couple of months. It's been a bit of a slow month, so a bit of a slow couple of months because I've been able to catch scalping opportunities, but I haven't been able to catch those swing opportunities that I want. And as I have mentioned before, I am transitioning from a day trader to a swing trader, right? Because I want to have a bit more free time. I don't have as much time as I used to for me to be sitting down in front of the charts. Now, let's get back to it. So I will be expecting to see price react from this level here and perhaps come and retest this gray zone that I've marked on here as well. So that's at around 6582. I will be expecting price to come back into around that. So say 6580. And then I'll be looking to see if price wants to push back down one last time to come and test into this level before we can look for those buying opportunities back to the upside. So overall for today, even though my overall bias is still sell bias on volatility 10, I will be expecting to see it react off of this level in here and give us a young pullback maybe to this upper level, the last retest in there, perhaps even break above it slightly before it pushes back down. So for today, I will most likely be looking for buying opportunities on volatility 10 just to catch that young retracement. And then I will be going back to taking sales back down into this pink zone that I've got in here, and then taking it back up. But obviously, all of that is not going to happen today. Today, we're most likely to just see those buying opportunities or maybe a depletion of the selling momentum that's currently sitting in the market. So we'll be looking for that depletion of that momentum, which you can see there's a lot of consolidation happening at the moment, as opposed to the previous bearish push to the downside, where there was much less consolidation. Now we're seeing a lot of bullish participation in this market. So we'll be looking to see how it reacts off the bottom, and if we can then participate in those buying opportunities. Let's move on to volatility 50. Now, yesterday on yesterday's episode, I did speak about volatility 50, that it is showing a willingness to go higher now, right? Even though I am still looking for buying opportunities off of this pink block. So what I've actually done is, let me just show you guys. I've actually just taken a sell on here today, right? Actually, a few minutes ago, I took a sell off here because the lower time frames was showing me a bit of selling momentum, right? And I am currently in profits at the moment. I think about 5 pips or something like that. Not really sure specifically, right? I haven't calculated it because I mean pips on VIX, you have to calculate them manually, right? Because the indicators are, like you can see here, it's showing 3,900 pips, which is crazy on a 3-lot size, on a 5-lot size, so it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, looking at volatility 50, you can see that the overall momentum is to the upside at the moment. So I'm expecting to get a pullback into around here, which is going to be my area that I'm looking to buy from, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that this market can't go higher, because as you can see, as I've been speaking about, when the market does leave big wicks like this, right, it's generally an invitation for price to pull higher into there, because I call this unfinished business, right? So I will be expecting to see this market gravitate towards the wick that it's actually left there, and perhaps even trade higher. So I am still bullish bias on this, but I did catch a short selling opportunity, which if it works out, it will basically be that retracement into this pink zone for the market to then go higher thereafter. Dropping down to the 4-hour chart, you can see that price has been rejecting off this zone quite a bit, right? It has been rejecting off of this level quite a bit, right? So it could be respecting this level again, and that will then lead to this pink zone, like I've identified on the daily chart. It will lead to it coming back into this level before it does push back up, right? So I am looking for a retracement today. This is basically the setup that I'm currently trading. So I identified this pink little zone in here, which is where I would like to trade because of how price reacted from there. And now it's back into this level. So I will expect it to give sort of like the same push or even more of a push back to the downside, targeting below these lows in here, right? Because look at this wick that it's left there. Like I said, on the daily, when it leaves big wicks like that, it's generally a sign that there's unfinished business at that level, and it's most likely going to try and gravitate back in there to complete whatever movement has been happening in there, right? So there's a huge displacement of price from this level. So I'll expect it to come back into this level to see what to fill up whatever orders are left in there, right? Cool. So moving on from volatility 50, let's go to volatility 25-1S. Now on 25-1S, I've just changed the color of this block here. I have been speaking about this block for quite a while, right? I also spoke about it on yesterday's episode as well. And I did mention that I was expecting it to come into this level yesterday and sell off, as I have been speaking about for the past couple of days, or the past couple of, yeah, it's been the past just over a week that I've been speaking about this level. Right now, you can see that price did react very strongly off that level yesterday, and I will expect to see it, if possible, do another tap into that zone if possible. If not, and we do get clear selling opportunities, then I will be taking sells back to the downside. But I would like to see it come back into that level at least one more time and just bounce in that level, right? To give us good signs that it is willing to go lower off of that level. But if it doesn't, then I'll most likely action some sales based on what happens in here. I like to see an impulse to the downside, so a nice strong move to the downside, and then I generally get in on the retest and the push down. So I'll be watching this very closely. Overall, we are still sell bias on here. We're targeting this pink zone on whatever selling opportunities we do get coming in. So it's just a matter of watching what the market is doing now. It has tapped into the level that I've been watching, but it's just a matter of watching now what the market is doing to see if it can come back a bit deeper into this level. I've just changed the color. It was initially a pink zone. Now it's a gray zone, right? So don't get thrown off by the color. My colors just basically mean whatever concept I'm using in that specific sense, right? So in this instance here, this is a gray zone because of the concept that I'm using to judge that level, right? I'm not really going to share that information because, like I said, this is not really about me educating in terms of my strategy or selling a strategy or anything like that. This is basically just to guide you towards identifying your daily bias. Now, looking at this, I want to see it come a bit deeper into this level, say around 411, 411, 500, something around there. And then I'll be willing to take some opportunities off of that level in there, right? Cool. Moving on to volatility 75. As I've spoken about 75 yesterday, I did mention that, it's very indecisive and I don't want to make a decision regarding which direction it's going to go because of its indecisiveness at the moment, right? And I did speak about the fact that it's showing a lot of selling momentum, but the overall momentum in the market is buy momentum at the moment, and the highest probability would be to take buys. And as you can see, yesterday was a very big sell-off on here. So basically what I am waiting to see this market do is I'm waiting to see it come into this pink zone, a bit deeper into this pink zone. And that is where I'm looking to take buys back to the upside, and I'll be targeting this pink zone over here to the upside. So if we do get that happening today, ideally, I would like to see that happen after a push into here and then a pullback, and then I'd be happy in taking buys to there. But if it does just come straight into here, then I would have to do some thinking about it to see if I want to participate in this, right? But this is my overall buying zone, preferably with uh, this type of movement. So a push to the upside, a pullback, then I would love to see something like that, and I would be able to take buys back to the upside into there, right? So that is my thoughts on volatility 75. Not really much I'd be able to speak about on the H4 time frame, to be honest, because as you can see, like this is very choppy at the moment. It's all over the place, not showing any clear signs of what it wants to do at this point. But I'm liking the price action that's happening on here. To be honest, the fact that it's respecting this level here, right? You can see it's respecting this level. So I would expect to see it driving up, right? So if it keeps pushing up, that's ideally what I would like to see. So if that happens, then it's good buying opportunities back to the upside, maybe a retest on this wick in here before it goes up. And if that happens, then perhaps I would be looking for buys for today, right? And take a few buys, a few scalping buys, not looking to hold it too long because of the choppiness in this area here, right? So most likely if I get a retest here, take a buy up into there, maybe a stop loss below here, that would be a really great trade, right? Until I can get price coming into this level or into the upper pink level that I've just spoken about, right? So that's it from my side. That's as much as I have to share for today. Not really much more that I can speak about on these markets. We did get some really, really good trades on some of the other charts that we were watching yesterday, that I did speak about on yesterday's session with the premium guys or the pay group guys. I hate calling it premium. But yeah, anyway, other than that, those are not charts that I do cover on these sessions, and I'll most likely cover them at some point. But for now, I'm just, keeping them on standby, if I can say that. Right. So I'm going to end it on that note. Until next time, it has been a pleasure, as always, for me to share with you guys. And I am wishing you a blessed and a profitable trading day. And I'll catch up with you guys again tomorrow, same time.